Okay, so maybe you're thinking about getting a Maine Coon cat.
Or maybe you just saw a picture and thought, wow, what a cool cat.
Whatever brought you here, we're going deep on Maine Coons.
You're going to cover it all, their history, how to care for them.
And, most importantly, are they the right cat for you?
So first off, let's talk about where these cats came from.
Because there are some pretty crazy theories out there, right?
Oh yeah, like are they part raccoon?
Did Vikings bring them over?
Some people even think Marie Antoinette's cat sailed over from France.
Well, unfortunately, those are just myths.
The truth is a little less exciting.
But still pretty cool when you think about it.
Yeah, Maine Coons are definitely domestic cats.
But all those cool traits, like the bushy tail, the tufted ears,
Sometimes they even have extra toes.
that all came about through something called convergent evolution.
Basically, they evolved similar traits to other cats because of, well, where they lived.
So New England winters, huh?
Yeah, think about it. Thick fur to stay warm, big paws for walking on snow.
That bushy tail to wrap around themselves.
It all makes perfect sense.
And it makes them one of the largest domestic cat breeds, right?
Absolutely. I mean, females tend to be smaller.
But those males, those gentle giants, can get pretty big.
Oh, yeah. They can get over 3 feet long, tail and all.
Wow. But they are gentle, right?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. That's where the gentle giant nickname comes from.
Good to know, because that's a lot of cat.
But they're super affectionate, playful.
I've even heard they play fetch.
Yeah, some people even say they're like dogs in that way.
Speaking of playful, what about that amazing coat of theirs?
Oh, it's gorgeous, but it does require some upkeep.
So regular brushing is a must.
Definitely, at least 2 or 3 times a week.
Wow. And I bet they shed a lot.
Well, all that fur has to go somewhere.
But hey, I guess it's worth it for all that fluffiness.
And luckily, their coat is kind of dirt repellent.
So fewer baths, that's a plus.
Yeah, but a trip to the groomer every now and then is still a good idea.
Okay, so we've talked about their origins, their looks, but what about their health?
Well, like many purebreds, they can be prone to certain conditions.
That's something potential owners definitely need to know about.
Yeah, some of the more common ones are hip dysplasia, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy.
Oh, wow, that one sounds serious.
It's a heart condition.
And there's also spinal muscular atrophy.
Right, so it's definitely something to be aware of.
But are there things owners can do to prevent these problems?
Well, not all cats with these predispositions will actually develop the condition.
Okay, that's good to know.
And responsible breeders are working hard to screen for these issues.
So finding a good breeder is really important.
Absolutely, it's crucial.
And I guess keeping your Maine Coon at a healthy weight helps too.
Oh, definitely, especially with hip dysplasia.
And of course, regular vet checkups.
Always a good idea.
Okay, good advice.
Yeah.
Now, I have to ask about those extra toes.
Polydactylism.
Is that a real thing?
It is. It was actually pretty common in early Maine Coons.
But it's considered a flaw in show cats today.
Sadly. Yeah.
That's kind of a bummer. I think those extra toes are cute.
Me too. But hey, some organizations are trying to preserve polydactyl lines.
That's great news.
Yeah. I mean, they're like little mittens for their paws.
So we've learned a lot about these fascinating cats.
They really are unique.
But before we move on, what else should our listeners know?
Well, finding the right Maine Coon is important, and that can be tricky. I mean, we know they can be expensive, especially from breeders.
Yeah, that's a big consideration, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maine Coon kittens, they can go for a lot.
Oh, yeah. Easily $800 to $2,000, sometimes even more.
Whoa, that's a serious commitment.
It is, but there are other options, like adoption.
Oh yeah, are there Maine Coons in shelters?
You absolutely can find them, both purebreds and mixes.
And adopting an adult cat has its advantages, right?
For sure, you already know their personality.
That's true. With kittens, it's more of a mystery.
Plus, you're giving a cat a loving home.
I love that. Okay, so let's say you found your Maine Coon.
Whether it's from a breeder or a shelter.
What are some must-know care tips?
Well, first off, nutrition is key.
So you can't just feed them any old cat food.
Right. They're large and active. They need a high-quality diet.
Makes sense. So what about exercise?
Oh, they definitely need to move those big bodies.
Yeah, I bet they love to play.
They do. Make sure they have plenty of toys, things to climb on.
I've heard they like to play fetch.
Oh, yeah. Some of them do. It's pretty cute.
So what about scratching posts? Do they need a special kind?
Well, because of their size, you'll want something sturdy.
Yeah, you don't want it tipping over on them.
Exactly. Get one that's tall and stable, maybe with multiple levels.
Or regular nail trims, right?
Definitely. For their comfort and for your furniture's sake.
So we've covered food, exercise. What else makes Maine Coon care unique?
Well, think about their litter box.
Oh yeah, They're big cats. They probably need a big box,
Exactly. You might even need multiple boxes around the house.
so they don't feel cramped.
Right, and some cats are picky about litter types, so you might have to try a few.
So any special vet care tips for Maine Coons?
Regular checkups are crucial, of course.
So anything specific to the breed?
Well, pay extra attention to their heart and hip health.
Makes sense. Those are some of the conditions we talked about earlier.
Right, your vet can help monitor for any signs of trouble.
So, summing up this part of our deep dive,
Maine Coon care is about understanding their unique needs.
providing a stimulating environment, making sure they thrive.
And don't forget about finding a reputable breeder or considering adoption.
So many wonderful Maine Coons out there looking for loving homes.
Absolutely, it's true.
Okay, so we've covered a lot. History, looks, personality, healthcare.
I think it's time to get to the heart of the matter.
Yeah, are Maine Coons the right cat for me? That's the big question, isn't it? Is a Maine Coon right for me?
It all comes down to, what you're looking for in a cat.
Okay, so like what kind of person is a Maine Coon perfect for?
Well, someone who likes a playful cat, affectionate, but also a cat that's okay doing their own thing sometimes.
Got it. So someone who's home enough to give them attention and play with them.
Right, exactly, but doesn't want a cat that's like always underfoot.
So not a super clingy cat.
Yeah, pretty much.
So Maine Coons, they're not lap cats.
I mean, they'll cuddle with you, but on their own terms,
They're not going to be demanding attention 24/7.
No, they're pretty good at entertaining themselves.
That's good to know. So if someone wants a cat that's basically their shadow,
A Maine Coon might not be the best fit.
right. But if you want a playful, intelligent cat,
Who's happy to hang out and also happy to do their own thing.
yeah, then a Maine Coon could be perfect.
Exactly. Plus, they're not super high maintenance when it comes to grooming.
That's always a bonus.
Right. I mean, that gorgeous coat, it does need brushing, but it's not too bad.
So pretty easy to care for.
The best of both worlds.
Okay, last question. Are they good with families, kids, other pets?
Maine Coons, they have that gentle giant thing going for them.
So they are good with kids.
Generally, yeah, but of course, you always want to supervise, teach kids how to handle cats.
Of course, common sense stuff.
Right, and with other pets, usually they adapt pretty well, as long as you introduce them properly.
So it sounds like a Maine Coon could be a great addition to a family.
They can be, yeah.
But people need to do their research, be prepared.
Absolutely.
It's more than just falling in love with how they look.
Right, you got to understand their needs, be ready for the commitment.
Make sure you can give them a good life.
A loving, stimulating environment where they can really be themselves.
Well said. Owning a Maine Coon sounds amazing,
It definitely can be.
but it's not something to take lightly.
Nope, you got to be ready for it.
Okay, so final takeaway for our listeners.
If you're thinking about getting a Maine Coon, do your research.
Find a good breeder. Maybe think about adoption.
And be prepared to give them a lifetime of love and care.
And in return, you get a loyal, amazing companion.
It's a pretty special bond.
Well, we hope this deep dive has helped you figure out if a Maine Coon is right for you.
It's been fun talking about these awesome cats.
And hey, no matter what kind of cat you choose,
Make sure you give them a loving home.
that's the most important thing.
Couldn't agree more.
Thanks for joining us, everyone.